Hello, it's another one of my little dubstep tutorial videos, things I've learned I'm sharing with you. In this case, it's the importance of extra stuff. I call it the greeble. Some people just call it audio effects, but to me the effects are the things that you layer or change your sounds with, so I use the sci-fi movie term for the stuff they stick onto spaceships and movies to make them look more interesting, to break up the lines and stuff. They call it greeble, so that's what I call this stuff. So basically what I'm going to do here is just play this kind of, this is not a serious song or anything, it's just something I made to illustrate my point here. So basically it's just kind of an intro and a first drop, okay? Roughly a minute and 3 seconds, or a minute 22 seconds worth of song. Obviously, to make this into a full song, it would require a lot more work, but this is, just, like I said, just to illustrate a point. So what I've done here is I've turned off these 3 lines, these 3 tracks right here that are the extra stuff, the greeble, and then I'm just going to play it straight through without any of that stuff, and then I'm going to add that stuff back in so you can see how much more life it brings to the track. Okay, so it just kind of goes through mellow and then it hits the drop and does what the drop does, of course. But it's still kind of boring at this point. There's not much life to it. And of course, even just adding these few things in that I've got here, the greeble, as I've been saying, doesn't change it up too much, but it does add enough differences that suddenly something that you kind of listen to it and that's kind of blah, then you add this stuff to it and then suddenly it sounds a lot better. Okay, so the first thing I've added in here is just kind of an ambient noise in the background during this part. Okay, and all I've got here is a volume envelope that fades it in and out, which adds movement. Okay, and then there's other effects and stuff that I can layer on top of it, other things that I can do all around to make the track more alive, but just this by itself is going to add movement in the background, which helps bring a track to life, I guess is the only way to say it. Then this is a rising sound. I've got it here transitioning into where the beat first kicks in all the way, and then again over here where the drop hits, and as you can see right there, there's just a little bit of silence right before the drop hits that always adds just a little tiny almost inaudible bit of silence right before a drop, helps make it more dramatic when it hits. And then I've just got this Vox vocal hit, which is just hit the bass drum or bass drum, something like that. You'll hear it pretty quickly right here. And then I went ahead and added those two in while you were watching because I had forgotten before. This goes ahead and introduces that element earlier in the track, so it isn't a complete surprise when it hits later. And then this is just, like I said, it's just purely a transitional sound. In this case, let's go ahead and put a riser on this one so it is even more dramatic. And let's increase the... Oh, can't do that without... Let's make it a loop rather than a... And we're going to increase the the pitch of that just a little bit. Okay, and let's stretch this one out a little bit, lower the pitch a little bit. And play.
There's a bass.
Whoopsie.
There's a bass.
There we go.
There's a bass. There's a bass. There's a bass. There's a bass. There's a bass.
And there you go. Like I said, it isn't, it doesn't suddenly change it into being a hit song necessarily, but, just some tweaking, getting your sounds just the way you want them, getting everything just right, and then, adding in these little extra things. I probably would replace that with a pad of some sort, because that doesn't really quite work necessarily. I might go ahead and change up any number of things to make this sound better in the end, but the principle of the thing is there. When you leave out your sound FX or greeble and your risers and your background stuff, you're just taking out all the things that make a lot of dubstep tracks work. Now, here's your homework assignment, as it were. I want you to listen to Rusko's Woo Boost, a popular track, Dat6 3/5 style, okay, and let's see, how about a Skrillex track too? Just listen to any Skrillex track, okay? Now, Skrillex is good about making things not sound like they're the FX in the background and stuff, but there's still a lot of crap going on that, hits only periodically, which would classify as an FX noise or a greeble noise. So I want you to listen to those three tracks. That's Rusko Woo Boost, Dat6 3/5 style, and anything by Skrillex, okay? And I want you to kind of mentally remove all the noises and sound effects, the greeble that's in there. For Woo Boost, that's the glass breaking, the woo, all that stuff, 3/5 style, all of the Kung Fu movie sound clips, Skrillex, all the high pitch, all the movement stuff that only hits periodically through a track. Mentally take all that stuff out and see how boring the tracks sound in your head then. And then you'll understand why, if you're not using this stuff in your own songs, you're hurting your own music. Okay, because this is the stuff that really makes it work for some reason. And the same goes for other styles as well. It's not just dubstep. Listen to anything trance, almost any electronica style. Just take a listen to it. Listen to it once and pick out the points where there's like risers and background stuff. Pretty much every trance track ever made has a pad fading in and out in the background, okay? Or something to that effect. Something with adding some movement to break it up a little bit, okay? You take all that stuff out and suddenly you have a rather boring track, okay? So that's what the point of this video is how important all that stuff is, okay? So take that with you. I hope you found that useful, illustrative, and don't forget to do your homework assignment. Please leave a comment telling me how useful this was. Share it with your producer buddies if you have some, if you feel like it, and all that good rotten stuff that us YouTube video producers always ask for. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, 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 bye.